Module 2, today's workshop proper. And Module 2, we are talking about Chapter 25. Okay, and this Chapter 25, you can see it as an extension of Chapter 15, which we talk about in Workshop 5. Right? For some reason, Lao Tzu expanded the topic of Chapter 15 in this chapter here. So now, before we go deeper into this module 2, chapter 25, let's do a little mindset shift. Most people today see life as a straight line. Okay, as a straight line. Born, work, die, full stop. But Lao Tzu saw it differently. It's not straight line at all. What do I mean? What does he mean by not straight line at all? He said, there's something formed from chaos, born before heaven and earth, which is very silent, which is formless, yet always present. Now, what does that mean? It means life never really stops. It just flows, then returns. And when it returns, it renews, and then flow again, and then return. And then when it returns, it renew, and then flow again. So this is like an endless cycle. So understanding this, it means that you are not living a linear life. You are part of a returning cycle. When you start seeing yourself as part of that flow, not a separate person chasing time, you stop struggling against nature and start moving with it. That's where alignment begins. That's where the real Tao begins. So as we explore this chapter together, I want you to loosen your old belief that life is just about moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. Because the Tao doesn't just go forward, it returns at some point. And that return is where all things find balance again. Okay, let's talk about something interesting. Tao versus God. I'm bringing this topic up because some people ask me, hey, Kun Leong, is Tao like God? Actually, these are very two different thing or concept or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now I need to be very careful here because this is a sensitive topic. I'm not saying anything against anyone's belief. If you believe in God, that's perfectly fine. So just to be clear, I respect everyone's belief in God or any religion. We are not saying one is wrong or right. Tao is simply a different perspective, more like the natural order of the universe, not a personal creator. So if you believe in God, Tao can still exist alongside your faith. No conflict. No conflict at all. So Tao is just a different way of understanding how life and universe works. Based on what I know, I may be wrong. Here's the key difference. God is like a boss. He created everything and he rewards, he judges, and if you don't follow, you might not receive eternal life. So according to Pete Hegseth, the state of the Secretary of Defense, US, he recently said that the Iran war right now is part of God's plan, and Trump was anointed by Jesus to light the signal fire in Iran to cause Armageddon and mark his return to earth. You can Google him for more info, but I'm just using him as an example, about God. Okay, that he's the boss. 他说了算. Tao is not like that. Tao doesn't take credit. Tao doesn't control. Tao doesn't force you to do anything. And definitely, Tao doesn't dictate you to go into any war. Tao is just Tao. It is what it is. So to say, there is something shapeless born before heaven and earth. That's Tao lah. Very silent. So Tao is silent. Tao is alone. Tao flows endlessly. It can be called the mother of heaven and earth. There's another way to name Tao. In simple words, Tao existed before everything. Everything. It's the original flow of nature. No boss, no rules, just natural order. Think about it in real life. The seasons come and go without asking permission. Spring comes after winter, always. Traffic flow in Singapore, if everyone follows naturally, cars move smoothly. So you can see Tao is like the expressway like that lah. If everyone follows naturally, like cars will move naturally, right? So if every driver tries to force or control too much in their own way, insisting their own right, like cutting lanes inconsiderately, refusing to give way, etc. You have accidents, you have congestions. So your own energy or your own mood, when you resist or try to control everything, that will make your life feel very heavy, like a congestion like that. So behave like Tao, let it flow. When you flow with the natural rhythm, things become easier. So Tao is like the silent parents of the universe. It doesn't demand anything. I've talked about that in the previous workshops, right? It doesn't demand anything, but it gives the space for everything to grow naturally. All right, let's look at these two phrases from Lao Tzu. It's called 寂寞的寂哈，寂兮寥兮 and 独立而不改. Basically means a silent power of Tao. First one, 寂兮寥兮, it means Tao looks empty, Tao looks formless, Tao is silent. But inside that emptiness is full of life, full of creation. That's why in earlier workshop, there's one chapter that talks about Tao Chong. It's because of this emptiness, formless, and silent, and yet it's full of life. We are able to create a lot of things using Tao Chong. Think of it like the internet cloud. You can't see it, you can't touch it, but it holds everything. Your photo, your email, your memories, and Tao is like that. Invisible, but full of potential. Now, 独立而不改 means independent and unchanging. So independent here doesn't mean what we say today or like a teenager telling the parents, I want to be independent. Then next thing, still ask for monthly allowance, Grab money, Netflix subscription, iPad, that kind of independence still depend on others. So that kind of independence not truly independence. So true independence means you can exist on your own, not relying on anything, not depending on anyone, and still remain steady, still remain unchanging. Can humans do that? Cannot. Okay, cannot. We depend on food, we depend on air, we depend on water, we depend on people. So nope, still can't. So only you, only Tao is truly independent. So when I say Tao is the only one that is truly independent, it gives to all things, ask for nothing back. It never boasts and never stop giving. So that's why Lao Tzu says Tao is truly independent and everlasting, 天长地久. And Tao doesn't need to prove itself. It just is. Then the next phrase here, 周行而不殆. It means Tao move in endless cycles, always flowing, never tired, never stopping. You think about it, every morning the sun rises, every night it sets, the tides come in, go out, the season change one after another, the earth never take MC, the sun also never take MC, the moon also never take MC, never say today I'm too tired to spin or I'm too tired to rise. They just do what they need to do. And that's what Lao Tzu means. Tao keep moving, never lazy, never breaks down. And yet it never show off, and it just flow naturally. Then Lao Tzu say, 可以为天下母. Okay. Andrew is also saying, Tao is just time as it is. Tao can also means called time. Yes. That's why not Lao Tzu, 孔子 say, 时也命也. Okay, because timing is also very important. That's why I say don't resist the flow. Go with the flow. When the time is right, things will show up. Even though you don't want, it will still show up. Okay, so that's why it's also right timing. Then 老子 add this one, 可以为天下母 I mean the mother of all, meaning Tao can be called the mother of all things. Because everything from mountain, rivers, human, animals are all born from the Tao's flow. Remember to talk about the Tao Chong, okay? And from the Tao Chong, everything is born. If you want to talk about it from the I Ching perspective, 一生二，二生三，三生万物. This is the 万物. That's like how a mother gives birth, nurtures, and never stops caring. So Tao keeps creating life without expecting anything in return. Now, when we as a parent, when we give birth to our children, somehow secretly, at some part of our life, we expect something, right, from our children. Wow. So we are still not in line with Tao yet, lah. Far way to go, huh? Okay. So in short, Tao is tireless, nurturing, and always giving. It doesn't rest, but it's never exhausted, never take MC. And that's why it's called the mother of heaven and earth. Okay, next line. Lao Tzu said, I don't know its name, but I call it Tao. Okay, so Lao Tzu also don't know what is a good word to call to describe Tao lah. So he said, okay, then I'll call this word, use the word Tao. Tao is called the way lah. And if you want me to describe it, I'll call it Da. 大人的大. Okay, Da. Right, so it's here, Da. So whether it's called Tao or called Da, it means the same. That means it's so great until there's no literal word that can be used to properly describe Tao. So this part is very humble. Okay, Lao Tzu is saying this. This thing is beyond words. Lao Tzu is saying this. This thing is beyond words. I also don't really know what to call it. So he just borrowed the word Tao, which means the way. And to describe its nature is called great. Da. So he's trying to describe the universe. And can you really put it into words? You can say it's big, it's infinite, it's mysterious. But whatever you say is still not enough. Basically, this is what it means. Same like when someone try to describe AI or the internet or the cloud or whatever, you can say it's very, very powerful, very smart, very scary also. But actually, it's beyond what we can fully understand. Right? We live in a world where everyone wants to sound like they know everything. So this is a reminder that sometimes true wisdom starts with admitting we don't fully know. Seriously. So when was the last time you admitted yourself to anyone to say, I don't know? Like I always say in class, don't believe a thing I say. I may not be knowing everything at all. I'm still learning. Okay. So there's so much more to learn. So right now, Lao Tzu says this highlighted words here. Being great means it keeps flowing. Flowing means it goes far. Going far means it eventually returns. Oh, Qim. Okay. Chinese call 大越则则越远，远则反. Okay, 反 means return. Now, what does this mean? When something is truly great, it doesn't just sit there. It will move. Okay, it will move. 则, this word 则 doesn't mean die or disappear. It just means flow, to go forward, to move endlessly. Like water, always flowing, day, night, never stopping. Even Confucius, Kongzi said the same thing. Time passes like a river, flowing day and night without rest. That's what Lao Tzu mean by 大越则. That means the greater something is, the more it moves and expands, then 则越远 means it goes even further. So Tao doesn't stop halfway. It just keep going beyond limits. But 圆越反 basically means when it reaches the furthest point, it returns to where it began. So in Tao, everything moves in a circle. So in a spiral, okay, in a circle, or some energy teacher may say that, okay, energy move in a spiral way. That means the universe move in a spiral way. It's not wrong, okay? Not a straight line. Definitely not a straight line, but it's in a spiral or in a circular way. That's why in Chinese thinking, the beginning is also the end, and the end is also the beginning. You see this everywhere around us. The sun rises, sets, and rises again. You see, it's a returning. The rain falls, then evaporate, become clouds, and then rain again. Okay? Even in life, things will end. Your friendship end, your marriage end, your life end, your education end, but something new will begin. Okay, something will begin. So this is always in a circular, in a spiral, in a cycle way. That's why Chinese culture naturally talks about reincarnation, life, death, rebirth, all part of one big cycle. So when Lao Tzu says 大则圆反, he's describing the endless flow of Tao, always moving, always expanding, always returning, and always renewing. That's like, you know, people saying 18年后还是一条好汉. 18 years later, the hero returns again. So Darren said, indeed, that's why 64 hexagram is incomplete and never complete. 生生不息. That's right. Very good, Darren. That's why it always end off with the last hexagram called 未记卦. Okay, because why? There's no full stop. You just return and then renew back to 乾卦, hexagram number 1. So thank you, Darren, for pointing this out. Indeed. So in life, when one door closes on you, it's not end of the road. Okay, it's just returning. And when it returns, it's time for you to renew. Renew means what? Start something new. So that, so with this, right, when one door closes, another door will open. Or perhaps already open. It's just that we don't look that way only. So if say, what master say, I agree. As I've gone so far in life now, I stop everything and back to myself for settling. That's right. Very good. Thank you, Eve, for sharing your experiences. Indeed. So it's always a cycle, and it's not a linear moving forward kind of life path. When you understand this part, life becomes so much easier. All right, next part. Lao Tzu says, Tao is great. Heaven is great. Earth is great. And the king is also great. Oi, how come got this word called the king? So does it mean nowadays we are in the wrong way of political setup? Because nowadays we are getting lesser and lesser king, right, in this world. Okay, but hear me out, hear me out, or maybe hear Lao Tzu out. In the universe, there are 4 great things, and the king is one of them. Now, some version of Tao Te Ching, I believe Tao Te Ching may have already been edited somehow. So in some newer version, Tao Te Ching version, they replace the word Wang, the word here Wang. Okay, the word here Wang, they replace with Ren. I'm not sure why they do that, but the original text is called Wang. I mean the king. Okay, so in some version it say Ren Ye Da. Okay, means man is great. Now, why Lao Tzu use the word king, not man? Why? Okay, hear me out. Because not every person can be called great. If you tell everyone you are great, some people will get very proud, very ego. But a king here doesn't mean a ruler with a crown. It means a person who lives with Tao. Someone who is selfless, someone who is humble, someone who is without ego. So Lao Tzu is saying, same human being, but the difference is in the heart. A king becomes great not because of power, but because he has no selfishness, he has no ego, he has no me, everything also me. So in modern times, we can say a real leader is not the one who talks the loudest, but the one who serves quietly. All right, then this is called the king. This is a true definition of what Lao Tzu trying to mean the king. Okay, let me repeat. A real Wang leader or king is not someone who talk the loudest, but the one who serve quietly. Look at people like LKY. He worked for Singapore's good, not for personal fame. Or even in our daily life, a team leader who lifts others up instead of taking all the credit. That's someone who walks the king's path. 这个叫王也大. Okay, so take note of this proper definition of Wang here. So Lao Tzu's message is very clear. When you act without ego, without taking credit, you become truly great Wang. Okay, and as Lao Tzu said in chapter 2, wow, pull you back to chapter 2. Create without owning, act without forcing, achieve without claiming credit. That's what it means to be Wang Ye Da, the greatness of a true king. This means without the whole cosmos, without the whole within the not without within the whole universe, a true king, or what we call a real human leader, can actually be one with heaven and earth. 天地人和. Okay, so Lao Tzu is saying, don't think this is impossible. If you can truly live without selfishness, without ego, you will naturally feel connected with heaven and earth. You will sense when things are aligned, when to move, when to pause. That's what ancient people call heaven human resonance. 天人感应. Okay, being in tune with the natural flow. In modern terms, it's like you are fully in the flow state. I think you might have heard me mention flow state many, many times in other programs. You must be in the flow and things like that. When I say in the flow state, basically means it's heaven human resonance. 天人感应. You're not forcing at all. You're not overthinking, but somehow everything just click into place for you without you forcing. Darren is saying, it sounds that want to be Wang. The important question is, are you the fifth dragon or the sixth dragon along the path of Tao? Oh, very good. Thanks for linking this up to the sixth line of Qian Gua. Indeed, fifth or sixth line of the Qian Gua. Okay, so true, very true. Now, some people say, "Wow, Lao Tzu always talk about theory. I never give methods." Actually, not true. What if his method was so simple, we keep missing it? This is his method, very practical one. He's teaching us, if you let go of ego, if you act from selflessness, you will naturally enter alignment with Tao. And in I Ching terms, hexagram terms, is hexagram 25. 无忘, 无忘卦. Okay, 无忘卦 basically is telling us to let go of ego, let go of selflessness. And then you naturally enter alignment with the Tao. So don't worry about memorizing big theories from Tao Te Ching. Start practicing from within, from your inside. Let go of ego, act from selflessness. Do this small daily actions of non-self, non-attachment. You're already part of Lao Tzu's method. So simple, yet people keep missing it and dismiss it as not effective. Okay, now Lao Tzu give us his final method. He say, this is the final method, which is the most powerful method. He says, 人法地，地法天，天法道，道法自然. Loosely translated. Human follows the earth. Earth follows heaven. Heaven follows Tao. And Tao follows nature itself. Now you might ask, why so long-winded? Why Lao Tzu never straight away say human follow nature, full stop? Directly, right? Jump everything take away everything in between, right? 人法自然不是好咯? Can we say that? Right? Why Lao Tzu want be so long-winded to say 人法地，地法天，天法道，道法自然 so long-winded? If you are quietly asking this question, I think I asked that question last time too. So if you are also asking quietly, I think good question, huh? Good question. Now, before that, if is saying the problem is people always not able to see what is their ego. Some even think that is for other people's sake. Yeah, that's why you need to 修道哦. It's not like I want to 修道 straight away you become enlightened. No, no, no. It doesn't happen this way. Okay, it doesn't work this way also. So you have to practice, 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 and then you catch yourself that oh you are now having ego issue, or you catch yourself say oh now I have attachment issue. You have to catch yourself a lot of times, okay, and then correct it. Because Lao Tzu is teaching us life got sequence. You must start from the ground up, literally. You want to connect to heaven? Can. First, you must be grounded. Connect with the earth first. So, 人法地. Connect, be grounded, connect with the earth. Now, nowadays, a lot of people say, wow, I feel disconnected, need to go back to nature. That's exactly Lao Tzu wisdom. You need to be grounded first. So when you walk barefoot on the grass, hike in the forest, or do something like gardening, actually you are recharging your earth energy, the 地气. But what we humans doing today? We keep digging, we keep destroying, we keep polluting the earth, burying toxic waste, cutting forests. Then we complain why life so stressful, why always off balance. Lao Tzu would say, because you lost your grounding. The earth is like a mother, very patient, very forgiving. Even if we mistreat her, she never scold us. But when we go too far, she will let natural law correct us. We will have earthquake lah, we will have this lah, we have that lah, the maybe the road give way, and things like flood, droughts, climate change, all this. Yeah. So step by step, first connect with the earth, be humble, be stable, then align with heaven, meaning live with higher values, live with higher integrity and timing. And then from there, you align with the Tao, I mean the universal flow. Finally, live naturally. When you say live naturally, it means no forcing, no pretending, no attachment. Same like walking. You must stand firm first before you look up to see where to go. Right? So once you find your direction, you walk steadily. And over time, acting naturally becomes your habit, like walking like that, becomes so natural. And Andrew is asking, how do we know when we connected? When you, okay, very good question. When you have no desire, is it too crude to say when you have no desire? 无所谓, you know the word 无所谓? Okay, 无所谓. That when you feel that a lot of things happen to you, that 无所谓 lah, no big deal lah. That is where you find that, I think I have no more attachment already. I think I have no more ego already because it doesn't hit me that hard anymore, unlike last time. That is where you really go with the flow or get connected. That's Lao Tzu methodology. Very simple, but very powerful. Step by step, from heaven, from earth to heaven, to Tao, to nature. So this is how we restore balance between body, mind, and the world. And that's why Lao Tzu ended this part saying, Tao is heavy, the self becomes light. Tao zhong er shen qing. So when you walk with Tao, your burdens lift. Okay, so with this, we end this module 1 here, right? So before we move on to the next part, let's take a moment to wrap up what we've covered here in module 2. Module 2. Let's wrap up module 2 here, chapter 25. We explore how the Tao, this unseen, ever-flowing force, give birth to everything, yet never take credits, right? We also talk about how it truly means to be independent, to stay grounded, and how everything moves in cycle, go far, and then return, and then renew, and then go forward again. And most importantly, we learn Lao Tzu's methodology. Human follow earth, earth follow heaven, heaven follows Tao, Tao follows nature. It's like saying if you want to fly very high, first stand firm on the ground. That's how we align with the natural flow of life.